Hi, I'm Marty Levinson. Welcome to the Northtown News Magazine. Snip, snip.
Thank you, Marty. Hi. Obviously, I didn't make it there today, but hey, Marty's good tips keep me at least moderately groomed at certain points in time. Hi, I'm your host, Meyers. Welcome to the Northtown Neighborhood and News Magazine, a presentation of Sonny Hersh and myself. Dial us up on the web at ntnm. You don't need the WWs anymore. And that's the link to YouTube where over 20, as a matter of fact, by the time this goes on the air, probably more like 26, 27, 28,000 shows have been watched. It's like picking up all the time. So thank you so much. Community policing, very important, something we plug early and often. CAPS24.org, a website run by Sonny, will give you the list of every single CAPS meeting. There'll be a direct link. Click on 2411, 12, 13, all the rest of them. You'll get a direct link for all the meetings. You can also go on that site to find things like recent crimes, there's sex offenders. By the way, chicagocrime.org, for those of you who are into it, you can still click on there and do it now because they changed what they're doing and how they're doing it, so you want to make sure you get the new address before they change things. But in terms of specifics about community policing, before I tell you, it's probably much better to go to your CAPS meeting in person and talk to police officers in person and give you the whole rant about how much I really can't stand these internet message boards and how dangerous they are. We got a new commander in town, so forget all that. And as a matter of fact, he's going to be setting the tone. And he's somebody who is not a stranger to the area. He was a sergeant here in the 90s. And I'm going to let him tell you about himself. And we're talking about our new commander, Steve Caluris. Commander, how you doing?
Hi, Abby. It's great to be here. Thank you very much.
First of all, thank you, and we want to wish you a lot of good luck in the job.
Thank you. Like you said, I was a sergeant here in the mid-'90s. I've had the opportunity, the blessing of being able to be in a lot of different positions inside the Chicago Police Department, but getting this command was like coming home. I actually grew up in the Rogers Park area, and I feel that I've always been part of the community here. And I was in the 24th District when CAPS really originated, and I believe in it. I think it's a great thing, and I really look forward to the challenges and in answering the call to the public being here.
You know, it's interesting because the day the word came out, we were actually filming here, and there were a number of people that knew who you were from the old days, and they were pretty excited about having you here.
Oh, that's great to hear. Thank you.
So my pleasure. So, okay, we've got a brand new superintendent too, Superintendent Weiss. Is there like a whole new game plan about how to go about the? Oh, by the way, I should also tell you that the show will probably air in about a couple of weeks from now. So just, you don't have to talk about the weekend 8 till 4 thing.
Everything's moving along. And the Chicago Police Department over the past years has had a great impact on public violence. Homicides are at an all-time low. Something that has been recognized internationally. We've had people come from all over the world to take a look at what we're doing here in Chicago. And I know our new superintendent is assessing it, and he's looking to add additional initiatives and twists on to impact, to continue to impact the violent crime and to stay cognizant of all the quality of life issues. Not just looking at the violence, but even in the areas where other issues are important to the communities, we're answering the call to those also.
Yeah, are you looking to change things? Are there specific areas you want to highlight, or?
Well, I haven't been here long enough to do a true assessment on where everything's at. I got to say, coming into this command, I have nothing but fantastic things to say and respect for all the watches and attack teams here in the 24th District. I've been extremely impressed. I went and I addressed the troops at all the roll calls. I've been riding around out there every day, and they're doing a fantastic job. They really are. I'm planning on hitting as many of the beat meetings as I can. I'm out there right now trying to introduce myself into the community so that everybody knows that I'm there and I'm available to them. I've been doing a lot of walking myself, introducing myself to business owners. It's going to take a little while for me to assess what the priorities of the communities are, and then I'll answer accordingly with that.
I know I keep calling him Sector Sergeant, but that's not accurate. Actually, my sergeant for 2412, my area, is actually a Rapid Response Sergeant, Sean Rellinger. And he was letting people know about some of the background you have in the kind of crimes that, even though we don't have a lot of, TAC-type crime problems around here specifically, he was telling people, you've got a really good approach toward those things. Why don't you tell people some of your background?
Well, I was involved in the bike patrol unit when it first started. I was a gang attack officer as a patrolman. I was a sergeant in, besides being a attack sergeant here in 24, I was a sergeant and a patrolman in gang investigations when it was back on Maxwell Street. I've been a sergeant in the detective division and the violent crime section of Area 4 on the west side. I was the sergeant with the crime analysis unit downtown at police headquarters, working on that. As a lieutenant, I've been was the foot lieutenant in the 1st District, dealing at a time when there were the anti-war protests. And
is that downtown?
Yes. They kept us busy over there. And then I started the Deployment Operations Center as a lieutenant. I was given my first command then. This is going into my 5th year as an exempt member. I've been with the Area 3 Patrol, the Special Function Section, and now with the 24th District. So, I mean, I've been pretty well-rounded. I've been exposed to a lot of different things at the department. Every aspect of it's another challenge, different on itself. Just before coming here to 24, I was with narcotic and gang investigations. Probably my strongest forte in the department that people would recognize me on is a technology aspect with being able to work good with computers, and then my knowledge with gangs. You know, I've always recognized street gangs as a major problem across the city, and I've kind of dedicated a lot of my career into impacting it.
Well, I'm a native South Sider, and I have to credit the old Blackstone Rangers for making me a North Sider. So I'm a little bit familiar from that standpoint, and that's going to excite, because it was one of the things people worry about. People see strangers around here, like at the beat meetings, my beat meetings at 2412, which is Devon, Duprat, Kensington Ridge. People see strangers and automatically start thinking gangs and all the rest of it, which isn't necessarily true. But there are some signs of it, and I know that if people aren't vigilant, gangs tend to want to creep their way into things.
You know, gangs have been multifaceted. They morph and develop, like most of the other crime problems and things that the city, faces. Historically going back, they started out as just basically neighborhood social groups, and then bad apples twist them around and develop it through. Narcotics plays a big role in the problem that we face with street gangs just because of the revenue. And it's multifaceted. The police themselves can never be a solution to impacting gangs. I mean, I always told stories about, when I was a kid growing up, if I wanted to buy something and my parents said no, that was it. It was over. Now with these street gangs, they're out there, they're making a lot of money. Sometimes they're making more money than their parents are bringing in. And it gives instant independence. The parents tell them no, and they don't even have to listen. If they want to go buy it, they've got the money in their pocket to do it. They're growing up a little bit too fast, and they're facing a lot of wrong issues. And it takes a community to come together and mentor the youth and get them away from the bad elements that are pulling them in. Not every gang member is evil. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's, when I'm talking about across the city, some of them are just, it's the environment that they're in, and they get pulled in. And that's why it's that much more important for law enforcement and for faith-based leaders and all community members to come together to actually give a good foundation to pull, the youth and those people that are actually looking to get out, to give them an opportunity to get away from it. But it's a long uphill battle. It's something that's not going to go away fast.
No, I wouldn't think so. I mean, it's just too prevalent in society. I know we don't have a lot of it. I mean, well, first of all, I should also tell people you probably haven't actually worked 100 hours yet on the job. You've been. I mean, this is really
24. Right, you're getting me coming in the door.
So I want to explain to people, like, don't look for a detailed analysis here. That really isn't fair. Give him a chance to actually get out and get around, and he'll that's a really good incentive for you to come to first of all, Sonny Hersh's beat meetings, which are the 3rd Tuesday of every month, alternating between Emerson Park and Greenbrier. And mine coming up in April or May are at Boone School at 6710 North Washtenaw, and that'll be for both April and May, which will be and then summertime we go over to Boone School. And by the way, it's a really good time to let the police officers know right then and there, because there's a lot of new people in it, and every neighborhood gets a certain bunch of new people, and sometimes it's people renting in the community that are new, that don't know that it's really our community, it's not their community, and they start to play by a different set of rules, and it doesn't mean anything bad happens, but things start, like you were saying, things start slowly. And if the people around them say, hey, look, this is a civilized neighborhood, we don't shout, we don't swear, we act decently, and things are started on that level right then and there that people tend to behave sometimes.
And gangs themselves, they thrive in anonymity. They thrive on people not knowing who they are and what they're doing. The more the community's involved and they let everybody know that they know who those people are and that they don't accept them into their block, into their neighborhood, it makes it difficult for the gang to exist. Because, again, with that narcotic aspect or something, they're trying to make money. They're trying to make a profit. And if they can't make that profit and they're not accepted, they're not going to stick around.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I'm not going to get into whole social issues. It's all money driven.
Yeah, unfortunately, yes.
Yeah. Did you go you went from lieutenant to,
Commander.
Commander. That's, I know. In fact, Commander Byrne, as a matter of fact, did the same sort of thing early on. I guess WizKids stuff. So.
It was from a time that they were actually looking the captain rank was starting to diminish, and they were actually piloting both a field lieutenant and almost like a watch lieutenant, where they'd have two lieutenants on the watch, one function as a watch commander. So there was a while in the department where captains were starting to dwindle, and they brought it back.
Yeah, I don't know that compared to, of course, the regular officers, there aren't that many captains and lieutenants in the first place.
They pretty much keep with the 75 captains, 3 per watch for each district.
So that's only 3 per district for captains.
Yes.
Is there a specific number of lieutenants also, or?
They usually keep there's more lieutenants to a district, but they try to keep 1 per watch, and then there's other positions within the station like a tech lieutenant and a caps lieutenant.
Yeah. Oh, hi, Donnie. Actually, I've been very fortunate because it seems like every sector sergeant I've had gets kicked upstairs. So I had Don Holman for 3 or 4 years. Then I had Rob Kalani, who's now a lieutenant on the west side, who's a real good guy. And I don't know that Sean Mellinger told me he's not ready for a promotion. He wants to raise his kids first. And but he's a very sharp individual who I don't think would have trouble with the test. But anyway, so in terms of things like some of the things that were really popular here were things like foot patrols, and is that something you're into also? Or?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I'm looking at as many ways as I can implement it. One of the things that Deputy Chief Rotner, when he was the commander of 24, he implemented like a mobile, if it sounds like a mobile foot team. It's a small group of officers that he'll, instead of giving them one specific assigned foot post, he rotates them around. They'll hit multiple spots. And one of the things that people, business owners, and community residents are looking for is they're looking to see that officer walking a beat. Well, this kind of accentuates that, because if I'm able to put 3 or 4 officers there into that location, there's a better opportunity that they're going to make contact and they're going to see them. And basically, that's the main function of a foot officer, is to be, to give additional police presence, the visibility, and then for them to make, the actual communicate contact with these, with the business owners and people in the community, just so that they've got somebody they can talk to. That's, again, been a whole thing of going back with O.W. Wilson. When guys got into the cars, the belief was that it started to cause a separation with the community and not being as approachable to be talked to. I do believe in that you got to, the more people that you can put out on a foot post, or, without a car in between them and the community, the more communication, the more open dialogue is going to be, and the better you're going to be at problem solving and really doing something for the community. So as much as I can get the officers in contact with the community, I'm definitely for it.
That sounds great. One of the things I've definitely noticed over the years, because I remember the 60s too, maybe from a different standpoint. I might have been one of those anti-war guys at some point in time. but the fact of the matter is that there was always a tension between, regular people and police. And one of the things community policing seems to have done, when people actually meet the policemen, and most of them are really, really nice guys who are trying to do a job and serve people and do something, good in life. And people don't realize that, and that's one of the reasons I tell people don't, like I don't want to speak for you, and I'm not. But these message boards, meet them in person. Like you'd be surprised. And that's exactly, when people see them walking, they're more approachable. They're human.
Yes, and you could have said it better with the community. All the CAPS meetings, that gives them the opportunity for them to meet the officers that are assigned on their beat, and to open up dialogue and get the chance for them to know the officers and for the officers to know them, and it's extremely important.
Yeah, and I guess one of the things that makes me nuts in particular is when I hear people call, well, what have the police done about this and what have the police done about that? And I ask people, well, did you call 911? Well, no, of course not. Huh?
Yeah.
You know, how are they going to know? It's good to have that dialogue. At any point, we're already, Mickey's hands have already gone further than I wanted to go in the interview. So, okay, somebody else gets a minute or two less. But I want to thank you very much. And please remember, for those of you who tuned in a little late, our new commander, Steve Caluris, has been actually on the job just like less than a week at this point. So, don't look for immediate answers. We just wanted to let you know who he was and give you a chance to say hello. And it sounds like he's going to be all over the community trying to meet as many of you as possible. And, of course, if you would like to contact the police department in an emergency, call 911. Otherwise, non-emergency, call 311. And I want to thank my entire technical group, Cindy Hersh, Commander Caluris. We look to a great association with you, the entire community. We want to wish you good luck on the job. And stay tuned for segment